Anyhow, I can't shed a single tear for the last serious relationship I was in, but for a situationship, I'll never recover from those. I love pretending to myself that I'm over it, I've moved on, I've grown, I've matured, I don't need that, I know my worth. But bitch, why are you still texting him? You met him in your early 20s, you were literally in your late 20s, and guess what? He still doesn't want you to be his girlfriend. He's still saying like, I don't want to hurt you, like, I'm not good enough for you. Like, why are you sticking around? That man's still a hoe, he's still a player, and you know, I am still a fool.
The eyes, Chico. They never lied.
I'm 24, I'm single, and just my dating life, it's horrible. I'm not even gonna lie, it's horrible.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
I give up. I give up. I literally give up. I do.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Give me the sit rep. And today, guys, we have a video with younger women. This is a video about regretting hookup culture, which are younger women, you know, that still are in their peak years. They're getting all the attention, yet they regret it because they only go for the same men all the time. So this video might be more interesting towards the people who are of that age, but it is also interesting for people who are older and they want to see what dating has become. I so often get comments like, Iran, I'm so glad that I'm in a committed relationship because I couldn't do this crap of dating in today's day and age. So let's get started, guys, and let's see.
Anyhow, I can't shed a single tear for the last serious relationship I was in, but for a situationship, I'll never recover from those. I love pretending to myself that I'm over it, I've moved on, I've grown, I've matured, I don't need that, I know my worth. But bitch, why are you still texting him? You met him in your early 20s, you were literally in your late 20s, and guess what? He still doesn't want you to be his girlfriend. He's still saying like, I don't want to hurt you, like, I'm not good enough for you. Like, why are you sticking around?
I don't know, why are you? So, I don't know if she was talking about herself, but supposedly she started this situationship in her early 20s and she's late 20s. Like 7, 8, 9 years of a situationship, guys. Well, again, I don't know if this she's talking about herself, but we know that some women do that, which is absolutely pathetic. Like, at this point, you can't blame anyone else but yourself. And again, it's always the same things that these chads say. Oh, I'm not ready for a relationship. And these women, instead of using their 2 brain cells to figure out that this guy will never commit, they say, well, if he's not ready now, I'm gonna make him ready. You know, I'm gonna change him, dad. I'm gonna stick around to find out. And as you know, the more you stick around, the more you find out. So this woman just realized, after 10 years, it didn't take her that much, that this man will not commit. Well, this is what she supposedly says. We all know she's going back at him.
You're looking for a sign to see if they'll ever change, if you just stick around, if you like do nice things with them, they'll like end up loving you and like wife you up. No, they're not. Sorry to break it to you, but they're still a hoe. But trust me, like, you deserve better. But you and I both know, guess who's gonna keep still talking to them? But
you literally don't deserve anything better. In fact, you don't even deserve that, if you ask me. You deserve, for your behavior, the worst there is. I don't think Chad is the worst there is. But guys, these women, like, you could think that after me watching them for more than a year now, I will have grown more sympathetic because I understand them more, or I realize the situation they're in. No, it's the opposite. The more I understand them, the more I get to see their behavior, the less sympathetic I am towards them, the less I care about how they trash their lives. It's crazy to me that any individual on this planet will stick to a situationship for years at a time, not caring about the thousands of red flags.
both of us. So, you know what? Let's live in the state of Delulu together. It's okay, you're not the only one. This past week I almost got fooled. You know, I really thought this man had changed. He seemed like he'd matured. He was like wanting to settle down. Well, you know what? On further investigation, yeah, you know, doing a little snooping. I had some mutual friends. No, that man's still a hoe. He's still a player. And, you know, I am still a fool. Woo!
Yeah, so this man, just from what I could heard, he didn't commit in close to 10 years. He's sleeping around with other women. He always gives her the same bullcrap copy-pasted answers. Oh no, I'm not ready to commit. You will be such a good girlfriend, but I'm just not at that stage. I need some healing. The copy-pasted, the usual, and she still sticked around. So this man, just from 1 minute, I can see multiple red flags if you happen to be a decent woman, which this woman is not. This woman is the furthest thing away from a decent man. I hope that some simp doesn't commit to her, because she will unironically make him want to unalive himself.
So I kind of just want to like preach about something really quickly. I'm 24, I'm single, and just my dating life, it's horrible. I'm not even gonna lie, it's horrible. And I feel like I don't ask for a lot. I feel like everything I ask for is actually just like the bare minimum, like what every person should do in a relationship, or like even just treating people in general. But like the more I talk to people about it, or the more that like I express my concerns with just like this generation and dating, the only response I get is, oh, well, you'll never find a man like that because boys are gonna be boys. Like, is that just how we're gonna continue teaching boys?
Not really. I do understand men when they talk about this generation, because yes, in this generation, if you happen to be living in the West, you're screwed. You're screwed in terms of dating. Most women are like this. Most women come with entitlement, unreal expectations, and high body counts. But for women, the same doesn't apply. Yes, there are less traditional and high-value men than in the past. That is true. You know, a lot of men have become effeminized or just losers or simps. But still, you can't tell me that there are no good men out there left. It's just not true. Now, I don't know where this woman lives. I don't know her area. But from what I've seen throughout my whole life, gentlemen, from my experience, leave me your comments down below. I mean, have you ever lived in a place where there are literally no good men, where all the men are players, all the men are not willing to commit, or simps? I don't know, I've never experienced that. You just cannot tell me that there are no good men out there. There are, but you dismiss them. And this woman is attractive, you know, she's not looking bad. Guys, it's like, if you check her DMs, you'll see that all her narrative falls apart, because she probably has like 30 dudes piled up there texting her, good morning queen, do you want to go on a coffee date or something, you know? She gets hit on the street by people telling her, you're attractive, do you want to have this date or whatever? And the only men she pays attention to are the men who are attractive, who in most of the cases have other options, thus they don't want to commit to you, or they just want to play you, right? Guys, she just dismisses the good guys. She disregards the men who could give her what she supposedly wants, yet she's here whining about this generation.
Just a question. Like, I'm not hating on men for acting that way. If you want to act that way, that's fine. Away from me, but like, do your thing. But like, are we actually going to like continue saying that for the rest of fucking time? Because I never, ever, ever hear men say, oh, well, you'll never find a girl like that because girls are just going to be girls. You never hear that. You only ever hear that about men. And it's like, what? How do they get a cop-out?
Again, guys, I just don't know what this woman is talking about. Men indeed are saying that it's impossible to date nowadays. It's not something I believe in. I think that if you want a traditional wife or a good partner, you should search for one or wait for one or whatever. You know, don't settle for just being single if it's not what you want. But for women, which people are saying that all men are the same and boys will be boys and they'll just fool around? First off, that's practically impossible. Like 90% of men, they don't have the ability to, you know, have so many options. Just check what happens with dating apps. It's women who have all the options. It's women who post a picture as a profile picture of their nails done, and they still get like 100 requests, you know. While men, on the other hand, they post their best pictures, they try their best, and they still get 3 requests, you know, if they get lucky. It's just, I don't know if this woman is from another planet or what's going on, but it's just not the case, all right? Men don't have options. Even if men wanted to be players, let's just assume that all men on earth want to be players and want to fool around and have multiple options. Even if they wanted, they just don't have the chance. The vast majority of men don't have options. So I don't know what this woman is talking about, to be honest with you guys. She seems really confused. Like, by her body language, seems like she's being honest, right? I don't know if she hasn't realized it yet, excuse me, but her narrative just falls apart.
How do they get all these excuses? Okay, I know they got 2 heads, but like, it just doesn't, like, it's like, you ask God, you're like, hey, can you bring a man into my life that doesn't crack a sexual joke every 5 seconds, that, you know, maybe takes sexual stuff a little bit more seriously, that hasn't been around the block, that doesn't think that's okay? Like, I give up. I literally give up.
Don't care. You're either lying to us or you haven't tried hard enough. Now, what I think happens is this woman says that I just want a man who hasn't slept around with many women, and that's it. While in reality, you check the guys that are willing to be with her who haven't been sleeping around, and she just doesn't care about them, right? So there was this image floating around, guys. Picture a triangle. I don't have a picture right now, but just picture a triangle. And on each side, there is a word. It's hot on one side, on the other is sane, and on the other it's single. Now, the way women are, they can't have all 3. They just have 2 of the 3. So, if they are hot and they are sane, that means they are not single. If they are hot and they are single, that means they are not sane. See where I'm getting at? If they are sane and they are single, that means they're not hot. So that's the triangle. This woman is hot, she's attractive. Well, I wouldn't say she's hot, but she doesn't look bad, right? And then she's single, that means she's not sane. So she's either lying, either her expectations are just unreal, or something is going on, guys. But if she really was sane and attractive, there's no way in hell she will be single. Other than, of course, she dismissing 90% of the men because they're not up to her level.
I do. Because just people want to condone this shitty-ass behavior. And that's why all the good people finish last, because you guys literally are like, oh, you want to go f the whole world? Go do it. Boys will be boys.
Yeah, guys, boys will be boys. It just turns out that every single man is a player, and they just sleep around with hundreds of women throughout the year. You know, they can't get out of their houses without a woman falling on her knees. Please impregnate me. This is so credible. This is absolutely the reality that we are living in. So guys, leave me your comments down below as to why you think this woman is single. But I'll share my experience, right? Throughout my whole life, the number of cases of women who didn't get attention and didn't have options, guys, I can count them with one hand. Right, with the fingers on one hand. The only women I've ever seen who don't have options were extremely unattractive or extremely weird, you know, socially weird, etc. The only woman, and they looked 100 times worse than this one. This woman is 100 times more attractive than these women that I know, to my knowledge, who didn't have options. Like, outside of my knowledge, they probably had, and they probably have nowadays. right? So this is to my knowledge. But again, she has options. She can't lie to us. She can't fool us. She has the options. And then another thing that I've noticed is that women who really are attractive and they are sane and they also happen to be single, right? These women, I can count them not only with one hand, but if you happen to split my hand in two, I can count the women I've seen that meet these criteria with the fingers on half my hand, right? I've met a few here and there that happen to be attractive, happen to be good, happen to be traditional or just pleasant people, and they are single. Extremely low cases. I know a few of these. And what these women do, at least one of them I remember, is she just lowered her expectations a little. And she ended up marrying a man that, to be honest, I can say is not on her level. Like, the man is your average Joe. He's literally the definition of your average Joe, right? He was below average on looks, and he married this woman that was quite attractive. And she was good all around, etc. And she didn't, mess around the block with multiple men. So what this woman did in her situation is she ended up lowering her expectations a little. She didn't have much, to be honest with you guys, but she ended up lowering them, and she secured a guy. This woman, if really what she says is true, which is not, but let's say that if this situation is true and she really is just this beautiful person, and every man in her area is just a player, like every single man of them, if that is the case, just lower your expectations a little tiny bit and go for the guy who is beneath your level, right? Go for him. Yes, you'll secure someone more attractive, but given that according to you, all men in that area are just players, well, go for the one who doesn't have the ability to be one, who even if he wanted to, he wouldn't be able, all right? Go for that man. Now, granted, he may not be as attractive, may not be as jacked, may not have as much money. Go for personality, if that's the case. But guys, thank you for watching. Leave me your thoughts about this woman in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.